Hi guys, I thought I spent this weekend just learning about RVs and how to add stuff to it. It's something I was really confused before, and I really wanted to figure out what's going on. But this project was a good opportunity for me to learn about it and hopefully create some kind of visualization that will help us in the project. What is RVs? It's a visualization tool for ROS. I'm gonna just launch our project now to connect to the simulator. To start RVs, you just have to type RVs in the console once you've properly sourced or have ROS in your path. ROS will pop up and it will be empty, and if you don't know what's going on, you'll be like, what the hell? That's what happened to me. So on the left side you've got some global options. There's the fixed frame of which I'll get to in a minute, and then there's a grid, which is the grid you're seeing here, and you can drag around and stuff. From a fixed frame perspective, there's actually base link and world. Base link refers to where your vehicle is, or your object of concern. That's my understanding anyway, I could be wrong. But the world refers to messages that are at a world level. If you go to the console and did a ROS topic echo of, say, the current pose, you will notice that the frame ID is all world. So that's typically where most of our messages are going to be at. The grid. This grid is just something to help us visualize. That's my understanding of it anyway. You can do offset, so you can put the grid to be centered elsewhere, and also the grid can be at a world or fixed base link level. You can change, so the cell size is 1, which is X of value 1 and Y of value 1 for each size. So if I change this to 10, then it's now a massive grid, right? So there's nothing empty. Let's add something first. Actually, before I do that, just wanted to talk about the stuff on the right side. This describes how we view this grid and where we view it. Right now we're just viewing the center of it. You can choose whether the view follows your car or the view follows the world. We'll see the difference of this a little bit later. So let's add some visualizations manually. When I click on add, you can choose by display type or choose by topic, and you see all the topics that our applications or our ROS nodes are currently broadcasting. In current pose, this is for the current position of the car. When I click OK, it's just gonna have this as default, and then you'll notice it's empty. What the hell? It took me a while to realize we need to change, and it's in the shape of an arrow, but the arrow is 1x in length, and smaller than 1x, plus the car is actually positioned all the way over here. So what's the number? 1131, 1183. So if we change our grid to be 1131, 1183, it's empty. And as I scroll in and out, the distance moves, right? Okay, so why isn't this updated? shit. Okay. For some reason, our view is still centered at 0, 0, 0, but our grid's moved because I changed the X and Y position of our grid. But if I change the target frame to base link, it should change to focus back. But by changing to base link, the X and Y changed. So now we're back with the view following with a focal point of 0, 0 of this grid. So it's an offset from the grid, or sorry, 0, 0 of the car actually. So if we change this back to the world, then we're also viewing the focal point of 1131, 1183. Let's just leave it as base link for now. It's still empty, but oh, there's a tiny arrow here. That was impossible to see, right? So I'm just going to make it a bit bigger. Shaft radius, let's change it to 5 so it's massive. Okay, maybe 1. Head 5. Actually, the head needs to be longer than shaft, so 15, maybe 12. Head radius, I think. Oh, that's massive. It needs to be 1. So now we have a bullet-like thing. What's cool about it is, as you drive around in the simulator, the node is continuously broadcasting the position of the car. So as you drive the car around, the arrow moves, and notice the view follows the car. But if you change to world, then as I drive around, that the view doesn't follow the car. So that's the difference between the two. So the other thing you can add actually is image. So notice as you drive around, the image actually changes. So this is from the image, the node that is broadcasting our the images from the camera, and so you can actually see what the car camera is actually seeing as well. Okay, so I've driven off somewhere now. Let's go back to base link again and just go 0, 0 to recenter on our car. But yeah, so if you look at, you know, what do we have? There's click point. I don't know what the hell that is actually. Ignition pose, I don't think that has any value. And I don't think we have any lighters or any of these other stuff. So how do we get more stuff in there, right? Actually, before we talk about that, there's something in RViz. So once you've got the view that you like, you can actually go to file and save the configuration. You can save it as a file, which I have done, and it's committed in a repository. I'm just going to close this first before I show you the file. So, and I'm going to just shut down the server as well. Seems like RViz doesn't synchronize properly. So the file that actually before that, I created a module for visualizations separate from all of the other modules or packages, so that we can modify this without impacting anything else. And the objective of this package is just to listen to events from our other nodes and send it to RViz, so you can have a choice of visualizing or not. And when you visualize, there's probably a bit more CPU usage happening there, but the objective is visualization should not interfere with the running of the car and things. So I've created an extra launch file called Wolfpack launch. It is actually a copy of sticks, with the exception of including another launch file from our package. The package is pretty straightforward, similar to other packages in our repo. Wolfpack.viz is the saved configuration of what I've previously set up, and visualization.launch is the launch file. So it's a pretty simple one. It starts a node of RViz app, and it provides a parameter to our actually saved configuration file. So as soon as RViz starts up, it loads the view that we have saved previously, and then it runs a node that publishes some of the additional visualization stuff. Visualization.py is where a lot of the grunt work happens. It's subscribing to current pose. Actually, I don't know why we're doing that. Actually, it's not doing anything at the moment. We can simply get rid of that line. It's subscribing to base waypoints. So this is the 10,000 waypoints that gets published once and once only. So the idea is I wanted to draw on our map what that path looks like, and then I've just decided to listen to final waypoints, which is I think Sergey is working on, or maybe Mihir is working on. That's just the calculated waypoints as the car moves around, and that's just listening. So the node itself also publishes a few things. I've just called navigation and waypoints. It's publishing a type of path under nav messages. I also published the final path. So whenever we receive a base waypoint, I am just looping through all of the waypoints and produce a path object with a list of poses. Note that I've also have a queue size of 1, and latch is true so that it only publishes it once and keeps it in memory, so any new nodes that starts up will get that data. It's a pretty straightforward code. In terms of final waypoints, it's actually a copy and paste of that, but published to a different topic because these points are going to be a little bit different. That's all it is so far, so we can start adding obstacles and traffic lights if we need to. Okay, let's see. Let me go back to simulator, restart that, and so if I start launch the Wolfpack launch, what we'll get is, okay, I need to resize this. This is a saved configuration file. I've already imported the final waypoints and the base waypoints. If you zoom out, this is actually our map. It's massive, and this is our car. You notice there's a little purple line here. That's actually our final waypoint, so we probably have to improve on this, and this is just my basic implementation, right? So as you drive around, so my code just publishes 20 waypoints that are closest to the car, so you just get that. So it doesn't track where the car is at all, so we need to probably look into implementing that. And I think that might be it. So I guess now, because I published through navigation, so you can see, RViz recognizes these sort of date message objects, so you can visualize them. Yeah, that's all. I hope it helps.